Footballers get famous for their actions on the pitch, but let's take a look at those who ruined their reputation for huge mistakes they made off the pitch. Take into account that these are only the players whose names became public. There are players whose names haven't been made public due to ongoing investigations. Let's start with the most recent case, the Dani Alves one. The act took place on the night of December 31st, 2023 in Barcelona. That night, he was arrested by the police and a case was lodged against him. Almost 2 months later, on February 22, 2024, he was found guilty of the charges by Catalonia's highest court and sentenced to 4 years and 6 months in prison for sexual assault. But wait, that's not all. After he gets out of prison, he will be under 5 years of supervised surveillance. He will also cover the victim's legal fees and pay her an additional 150,000 euros compensation. Of course, this act ruined his career. By that time, he played for Punas Unam, but after they learned about the incident, they immediately terminated his contract. I still can't believe he did that. I remember watching Prime Barcelona play, and Dani Alves was one of the most loved players in that team. Well, people change, I guess. Another right back who had some issues with discipline is Serge Aurier. We all know him because he played for big clubs in Europe, such as PSG and Tottenham. But what we didn't know is the fact that he spent some time in jail. By the time he was playing for PSG, he was only a 23-year-old kid that wanted to focus on football. However, he made something that could have ruined his career. He was stopped by a police officer, things got heated, and Serge allegedly hit the officer. And, as you know, this is a felony. After that act, he was sentenced to 2 months in prison. In addition to that, he was also suspended from PSG's first team for directing homophobic slurs towards Laurent Blanc. He was really a troublemaker. At least he realized that his career is more important, and now after a spell at Nottingham Forest, he plays for Galatasaray. Diego Maradona was known for his controversial lifestyle. Ever since he was a player, he liked to do some things that footballers really shouldn't. But in 1994, he did something hard to imagine. Being one of the best players in the history of football, photographers and journalists were stalking him day and night. Probably because he consumed some illegal substances, one night he got very angry with them and fired air pellets in their direction. As a result, 5 people were injured. Even though this should have been an easy trial, maybe because of his name and reputation in Argentina, it lasted over 4 years. In 1998, Diego Armando Maradona was sentenced to 2 years and 10 months of prison. Well, this was not the first time he spent some time in jail. In March 1991, after a game Napoli played against Bari, he failed a drug test. Because of that, Italian football authorities banned him for 15 months. He flew back to Argentina, where law authorities subjected him to continual harassment and surveillance, which resulted him in spending some nights in jail. Maradona himself called those 15 months among the most terrible of my life. Another legendary player that had some issues with the law is Ronaldinho. Even though he is the top 3 most beloved footballers from Brazil, after retirement, his life has deteriorated quickly in the past years, and in 2020, he spent some time in Paraguayan jail. But why? Well, Ronaldinho has been detained in a prison in Paraguay for the alleged use of a fake Paraguayan passport. Even though this doesn't sound that bad, he was held in the country's maximum security Agrupación Especializada prison. The World Cup winner was arrested alongside his brother Roberto on their arrival in Asunción, Paraguay's capital city. Even though he claimed that the passport was given to him as a gift from a local sponsor and that he made an innocent mistake in using it, he still went to jail. So, yeah, the legendary Brazilian footballer spent 5 months alongside convicted murderers, thieves, and other high-security inmates. That's crazy. Next up is someone that used to play in the same era as Ronaldinho. The 2006 Ballon d'Or winner, Fabio Cannavaro, is recognized as one of the best defenders of his generation. However, he found himself in trouble in 2015 when he was handed a 10-month prison sentence for tax evasion. The former Real Madrid player owned €1 million in unpaid taxes to the state through his company FD Service. Because he didn't pay the money to the state, local authorities in Naples seized €1 million worth of goods, including his €180,000 yacht. FD Service was sent to owe corporation tax, VAT, and regional tax, on which it is alleged to have been underpaid between 2005 and 2010. So, Cannavaro was sentenced to 10 months in prison, with his wife and brother also given custodial sentences. Okay, that's enough with legendary players. Let's talk a bit more about contemporary players. But before moving on, I want to ask you something. 97.8% of you are not subscribed to the channel, so click that subscribe button and also leave a like on the video while you're down there, as it would be a massive help to me and the channel. Thank you. Once a €57.5 million footballer, Benjamin Mendy has seen his reputation and career go down the drain as a case of sexual assault surfaced in 2021. Well, that sexual assault was not the only thing he was accused of, as he was also accused of 7 counts of rape of 4 women. Even though these accusations are awful, he was released on bail after being in custody for only 134 days, which is approximately 4.5 months. In my opinion, he should have spent a lot more time in jail, but I'm not a judge. He was suspended by Man City and eventually left as a free agent in 2023. Now he plays for Lorient in Ligue 1, and it seems like everything went back to normal for the French left-back. The next player is the talented youngster Mason Greenwood. At only 18 years old, he was promoted to United's first team and really impressed everybody. His skills, shot, and ability to kick the ball with both feet made him a superstar. However, in the first season of being a regular starter, he did something stupid that sent him to jail. In 2022, he was accused for rape and assault of his ex-girlfriend. Mason was exposed when his ex posted stories on Instagram showing signs of abuse on her body, along with some distressing audio of Greenwood coercing her. He spent some nights in jail and now he's a free man. Not because he's been found innocent, but because the case never made it to court. In part, that's because new evidence came to light and key witnesses withdrew their cooperation. Mason Greenwood is now on loan at Getafe, being their star player. Even though he will come back to Manchester United in the summer, the club's new owners are still discussing his situation. Despite the fact that he's an academy player and a very talented one, he might not play for United ever again. The last player I want to talk about is someone who played way too many hours of GTA 5. The first time he came to public attention was in 2020. Quincy Promes avoided attempted murder and manslaughter charges following an altercation in 2020, during which he stabbed his cousin in the knee. Even though he denied the charges, the court considered to be enough evidence to put him in jail for 18 months. Fast forward to 2024, Promes came to public attention again for something other than football. The Public Prosecution Service recommended the footballer to be convicted on allegations that he was involved in the large-scale smuggling of cocaine through the Antwerp port. Promes had a contact with Piet W, who is suspected in 2 assassinations and was accused of running a major cocaine trafficking operation. In the Promes case, the OM demanded an 8-year sentence for co-defendant Murillo V. Both Promes and Murillo played a crucial directing and coordinating role in the smuggling of drugs. Last month, the Amsterdam court said that they were involved with the shipments of 1,360 kilograms of cocaine from Brazil through the Antwerp port to the Netherlands in 2 shipments in 2020. After hiding in Russia since then, on March 14, 2024, Quincy Promes has been arrested in Dubai at the request of the Netherlands, where he was sentenced last month to 6 years in prison in absentia for drug trafficking. Wow, you'd think that by earning so much money, you avoid problems with the law, but it seems that is not the case. These are some of the most famous footballers that went to jail or committed crimes. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe, and see you next time.